So let's see if this will actually let us fetch this information here without screwing everything up, without requiring us to basically be in a specific display. So this will mean like you don't have to do a whole bunch of stuff. 492, node is undefined. Oh, I should not set node to something here, because node is a global thing. Ugh, that's rough. Like, I hate it when they do that for objects. I think you might go mad. Yes. Yes, why? What are you doing? Well, let's see if we can actually go into this tree view thing and look at sdig. Because we've got like our rigging, right? So our rigging stuff has got what is this ugly as hell thing? Why does the pivot have stuff on it? Does anything else have stuff like that on it? No, sroll doesn't have any of that stuff. Why does sdig have just tons of weird crap on it? Is there a way to show this in the network view or whatever? There it is. So, I'm trying to figure out basically how to grab the position and scale off of these things. I've got it so like if it's on the timeline, I can get layer to column by the column name. But I need the column name that yeah, I need to get the actual column based on the column name is layer to column sub I. So I need the column based on this thing. So let me just see like what this is. And see if I can, if it's a reproducible thing. Like if I already know what it's supposed to be called or not. So these column names are like blarg things. So they're not names that I know about. So let's see if I can discover them. So we have all these columns that are associated with, are they associated with the node or are they associated with the timeline? Like where are, maybe we could try getting the attributes on these things. Let's crack open that xstage file real quick. And see if there's anything inside of it that we can take a look at. RG-pivot1, scene sequence, blah. Like that's a column. So this is name is RG-pivot. So we've got offset and we've got position. So these are attributes here. So we should be able to fetch the column names out of the values for these things. Like we got scale, and those are columns. So we got adders, then we got nice. So the attributes we've got here, we can get the offset, and then the offset we should be able to get values off of it. So let's see what. And the same for rotation, and it's got offset. We've got scale, has this like x, and val equals call equals. Add in floating garbage with that animal. What is going on here? Who are you people? So we're grabbing the scale, display name, and angle. So is there an angle here? There's a rotation Z. So let's see if we can fetch these things. So we're going to try to get the. Let me see if that object actually has the. We've got an offset, a scale, a rotation. I don't see a position in here at all. What's it called in Harmony here? Like we've got position on here, so I don't see an offset. So we might also have a position on here. Let's take a look at what this is. The constant segment, it's zeros. So what should be looking at? We should be looking at for this. It's like negative 10.8. All right. And this is an offset inside of a there, so we probably don't need anything other than the offset X for these things. So we'll get the attribute for the node, and so let's just do it for the pivots that we'll have. And I want to see like what we've got inside of this offset node. And if we can crack it open and get the column name out of it, and then we can go through the column and get all the values out of the columns. So let's see if we can actually print this out. No name.contains. I guess contains is not a function for JavaScript strings. Alright, so we got rigging multiport in. That is, I printed out everything I did not want to print out. Alright, so RGPivot, the object name is attribute, there's keyword, bool value, int value, pos2d, bool value at, maybe it's a text value at, or something like that. So let's run it. So the keyword is offset, the text value is empty. Well, we can do it at frame. But Lucas, you should never say somebody's talented. You should say they work hard. Or they do good work. You're assuming that it came easily by saying that they're talented. But maybe that's assuming good things about someone. But you don't work enough. Yeah, exactly. You're talented, but you're fucking lazy. Like, oh. Alright, so what I'm looking at right now is basically, you gotta work. Do better work. We're looking for, I think, the pos 3D value of the offset at every frame. So if we just went over like 0 through 10 for the pivot and got the pos 3D value of it, would we be able to snag it out? It's just pos 3D value. For var j equals 0, j is less than 10, j plus plus. We are going to get the value at j. And it's going to be get adder at that, and it's going to be offset node. I guess maybe I need the, we'll just do both. We'll do position and offset. You work too much, but your work shit. It's like, no. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to make it so we don't have to screw around with all this stuff. So 565 has a parse error. Let's see, we're missing a plus sign there. Alright, we definitely have the location and all this information available without relying on the timeline. Okay, that's really good, actually. It's a lot better than what we had before. Alright, so we're also going to need the angle and scale. So we need the offset, the position, and all that. Alright, let's crack open this file. So there's going to be a scale is just called scale. That's easy enough. And rotation is also just called rotation. Alright, so scale node and rotation node. Coming back to some casual abuse. That's right. That's what family is all about. It's about casually insulting everyone. Which pretty much that's pretty much how I operate. Is that healthy? I don't really care. Alright, scale is going to be scale node.pos 3D value is var rotation 3D equals rotation node.pos 3D value. So we get our scale x, y, and z's, and our rotation is just going to be, I think it's the angle z. Alright, so we're just going to do if node name rg underscore is less than 0, then continue. Otherwise, we'll snag a few things. So let's see what it looks like. Rotation is undefined. Scale of 0, 0. Yeah, I'm sure that's not correct at all. Like, we got the right positions though, at least. This is pretty cool. We're actually starting to make some more progress on this script and turning it into something that, like, I don't hate myself for writing. So the question is, why isn't the rotation in there? Like, I mean, why isn't the scale in here? We have like X, Y, and Z on these things for like RG pivot. Like, we should be definitely getting something from this with scale 3D. It's scale node dot pos 3D value. Well, let's see if we're getting the rotations now at least. These scales are not right. Let's see if I have to manually print this stuff out like we have been. Or if we can shortcut it a little bit. Yeah, we kind of have to. So we're getting the scale node. We're grabbing the pos 3D value off of it. So maybe there's a different value on it, like pos 2D value, perhaps. Scale 2D equals scale node dot pos 2D value. Scale is still 0. So we just gotta keep poking around a bit to try to find this thing out. Like, it is scale, it is there. It's got a capital scale on keyword. Maybe it's a skew or something like that, you know? So skew and all that's 0. Well, that's not true. That's not true at all. We definitely have scales on these objects. Why are they not showing up? Like, I don't understand how we have the position, but we don't have the scale. Well, let's take a look at some of these other guys. So we've got dig, and we've got dr idle, and the scale of all this is 1. So is the issue that the scale's actually 1 and the default's 1, so it just doesn't actually say anything? So if we change like our scale for our fizz body to something non-zero, Maybe we need a capital S for scale. Looks like it's not really giving us the information that I want. Well, we can see if like we can get like scale double. Is like scale node dot double value. Scale bool value. Let's also see if we can get like the pos 2D value at, and then we'll pass in j dot x. And y. We'll see if there's some other hidden thing maybe. I find it just, why is the scale not available but the other things are? I mean, the only thing here is this separate true for scale, which I have absolutely no idea why the scale of an object would be. Oh god, I double clicked it. What the hell does that do? Column properties. This is the delete button, I see. Alright. Well, what else? What else could we possibly be missing here? Like, it's an X value, and it goes to a column, and when we do that for the other things, like the... I guess it's angle for this one. It's probably just like that. Well, let's see if there's a linked column. And doesn't look like it. Well, let's see if it's an array or something crazy. You know, like maybe it's something weird. Hold on a minute. Interesting. Looks like there is actually something here. There's separate infields XY, XY, and Z on the scale attributes. So there's a scale adder X, Y, and Z. And that is keyword and then pos 3D value. Maybe it's just double value? Adder dot text value. Maybe we can get it off. There it is. There it is. It's a double value. That is ridiculous. Well, we were definitely able to get what we wanted out of this thing, at least. So that's cool. So we can fetch all the information about absolutely everything in our scene without having it be on the timeline. And what that's going to allow us to do is it's going to make this a lot easier to use, because you won't have to be screwing around with your display in the top middle to export like a different animation. You can just be on any of the animations you want, and you can export whatever the hell you want all the time and not worry about it. So that's cool. So I'll be right back, and then we'll continue working on this thing and get it to where we want it. So I will be back in just a minute. I think it is pretty hilarious that I'm basically here just reverse engineering their documentation to find out how the hell to get things. Like, literally just like grabbing objects and printing off all the variable names using reflection to figure out where the hell everything is located. Because the documentation is just so bad that there's no way to do it. It's like basically